Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to part 2 of IELTS speaking, that is cue card questions, especially from Green World Edu Universe IELTS. Are you stuck with cue card questions? Don't worry, we are here to help you. From now onwards, IELTS speaking will be a cup of tea. So, without any delay, let's move to our section.
Talk about a mathematical skill that you learned in primary school. You should say what the skill was, how you learned it, who taught you, and why it was useful to you. I'm going to tell you about when I learned multiplication in second grade, when I was 7 years old. At first it was a big challenge and a hard concept to swallow, but I got the hang of it fairly quickly. The first few days I remember this was a stressful time in my household, as I always had to turn to my parents and sister for help. Since I got the hang of it, I aced almost every exam. I started learning this skill from Miss Polio. The first few days she used images for us to learn the concept of multiplication, as we had already mastered addition and subtraction. We could then visualize 3 times 3 by drawing a picture of 3 groups of 3 tigers, for example. She had a clever way of teaching us this by creating tables for us to get ample practice. After completing this, I was able to memorize several simple multiplication problems, like 3 times 6, 7 times 7, 8 times 8, etc. Moreover, she taught us the helpful trick that multiplicands of 9 add to 9. With her patience and way of making us visualize and memorize, multiplication has always stuck with me. This helped me because it only added to my knowledge of addition and subtraction. It may seem like a simple skill, but I can see that I use it regularly in my daily life. For example, when I go grocery shopping and something is $9 and I buy 7 of them, I think back to those multiplication tables and can quickly come up with the answer in my head. Although more complex is not always applicable to life, I see that all basic math is constantly used in daily life. How can adults benefit from this skill? I've realized that the most basic mathematical skills have helped me the most. They make daily life much easier when we are able to use mental math. For example, if I had never learned these skills, I would have to be reaching for my calculator or asking Siri for the answer. All in all, I value being able to do multiplication in my head. What can government do to teach math to adults? Life applicable lessons are always the way to go. As math is a source of confusion and anxiety for many, instead of having adults sit in cold, stiff classrooms, I think it would be better to have hands-on lessons. For example, they could create monthly budgets for their family with these new skills. Moreover, they could pretend that the power just went out at the supermarket and that they must add everything on paper. For more complex math, which I'm not an expert on, I believe similar techniques could be applied. I'd say that people should be taught how to apply their new skill to their life is the most effective way. Which one is more important, mathematics or handwriting? I would say mathematics, as it's still important to know how to write by hand. I would say that math teaches you new ways to think. Furthermore, as technology continues to be on the rise, handwriting is losing its value. Although people should still know how to write by hand, it's not a skill that is used very often, thanks to computers and cell phones. Looking back, I feel that learning to write in cursive was a waste of time, while math has helped me expand my mind and improved my logical thinking skills, even though it was always a struggle for me. Do you think computers will make learning maths less useful? This is a possibility. In the beginning of my schooling, we learned everything the old school way. As I progressed to high school, the technological age began. We could then plug everything into a calculator and solve the problem. With this evidence, I've seen that all the time I invested in learning how to do everything by hand were then easily solved with a few clicks on the calculator or a Google search. On the other hand, I still value these skills. There are always moments when technology fails us, so it's good to have a backup. Do you think computers can control humans in the future? I could see this happening. Although it's hard to wrap my head around that now, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I could imagine some intelligent human mind creating an evil line of robots that would seek revenge against humanity. Moreover, I think it's possible that robots become more intelligent than humans, without many errors, like driving, for example. As robots may not have intricate feelings as humans, I think they're able to focus and retain more attention better without distractions. This thought is a bit frightening.
For more interesting IELTS videos, subscribe and follow our channel, and you guys can join our special elementary coaching to learn every nook and corner of IELTS.